Hamilton, Missouri, piloting Bob and Marilyn Chandler's Bigfoot. Bigfoot and Gravedigger side by side. They power up, get set to go, and there they are, off and away. Look at this, a great hole shot for Gravedigger. Whoa, look out! Lyle trying his best to keep it on all four wheels. A wild ride and a win for the Gravedigger. And the crowd on their feet. I've got to see this again. Over the first set of cars, comes over a little out of shape, tries to straighten it out before he hits the next set, and then it's anybody's guess as to what Lyle Hancock is doing, short of keeping it on the track, or at least in the arena. But wait a minute, wait a minute. U.S. Hot Rod Association officials say that Gravedigger jumped the light. He jumped the light. He does not win. Your winner is Bigfoot. This incredible ride of Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger means absolutely, positively nothing. He jumped the light. He's out of there, disqualified, and the win goes to Andy Brass and Bigfoot.
Bad luck for two trucks so far. Out is Bigfoot. Out with mechanical problems is Fred Schaefer in Barefoot. Will the bad luck continue as we head into round two? Here's how it stacks up. Gravedigger, replacing Bigfoot, will be facing the Equalizer, hot off a win against 1991 champ Taurus. But
thanks, Ken. Here we go with our next matchup. I just can't believe the action we've seen already here today, and we're just in round number 2, our semifinals, with Equalizer David Morris out of Springfield, Tennessee, going against Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger. Now, Hancock, he seems to have lost reverse on the truck. They're having to back him up to get him staged. This does not look good for Gravedigger. David Morris, under his own power, gets staged. Both trucks are ready. They're on the line. Look for the green light. There they go. Gravedigger with a great hole shot. Equalizer comes from behind. I don't know where he got the horsepower for that, but David Morris had to go over that first set of cars before he got any speed out of it, and then, like a rocket, shot up ahead and defeated the Gravedigger. Can this guy drive or what? Where did he find it? Did he find 2 extra cylinders on the truck? I don't know what it is, but the Equalizer and David Morris gets another win on Monster Truck Challenge. They're on the line. Gravedigger gets the hole shot. He's a full truck length ahead. And David Morris, the Equalizer, comes over. All 4 tires planted, turns on the power, and sails in to our championship round. The Equalizer defeats the Gravedigger in Anaheim.
so what's happened here is that Equalizer has fallen into the loser's curse. Bigfoot wins and then loses. Barefoot wins and then loses. And now it's Equalizer's turn. We're ready for the finals in just a moment, when Gravedigger takes Equalizer's place and moves into the finals against Taurus. All here from Anaheim, where monster truck racing... Somebody once said it's better to be lucky than to be good, but it's best to be both. I mean, look at Gravedigger. Gravedigger struggles here today in Anaheim, but suddenly here we are in the championship round, and Lyle Hancock has got himself a shot at the title. And Taurus had a disastrous first round, but emerged as the fast loser. So now Taurus has a chance for that same prize. It's Taurus against the Gravedigger. Right now, for all the play-by-play, let's go to Joe Lowe. Joe?
Well, this track certainly has taken its toll on the competitors. Gravedigger and Lyle Hancock will face the Taurus in this final.
I gave it the best I could the round before. We heard the transmission, and I mean, I knew I had to get a jump on him to get out there even close to him, and I just didn't have enough to roll her out in the last gear. He beat me, and then at the end of the course, he broke his truck, so we're going to get one more chance to come back.
Well, now you say you broke a transmission on the run. Are you going to be able to make those repairs in time?
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to run it a lot harder in first and second gear than I normally do to kind of buzz the motor up. I've lost drive gear, so it kind of shortens me to make all the way to the end of the track.
Not very encouraging words from Lyle Hancock of the Gravedigger. But, you know, Jackie Willman has not been doing extremely well in Anaheim. The Gravedigger is staged. Taurus is staged. It's showtime! And Taurus with a hole shot and a half. The catch up. And the win goes to Jackie Willman and Taurus. Everybody was having trouble here in Anaheim. We heard Lyle had an incredible day of racing in Anaheim. The Gravedigger taking his time on the start. He just didn't have that first gear. But, you know, he was the lesser injured of the two. David Morrison, equalizer, could not even answer the call. At least the Gravedigger got out there. And he did have a pretty good run, but nothing compared to the incredible run that Jackie Willman was able to put down with the Taurus. One more time over the first set of cars, way before Digger can get rolling. And this is where Jack Willman won it, right on the hole shot. A tough break for Lyle Hancock. He does get runner-up money, and the points and the championship in Anaheim goes to Jackie Willman and Taurus. At Wadesboro, North Carolina, against Lyle Hancock and Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger. Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, the hometown of the Gravedigger. Side by side, they power up. Green light. Whoa! Look at this! Look at this! Digger comes over the cars. Gary Porter obviously with the win, but then on the end of the track, at the finish line, Porter's truck just sort of rips apart. Now look at this again. The Gravedigger is a truck I was watching like everybody else, because look at his landing. Oh my gosh, you think he's just about lost it. He bounces forward now. And this is about the point where we can see the sparks, and you can see Carolina Crusher's in trouble. Gary Porter knows it. And boom, he does a nice little slide around. Great job of control there. He almost turns it over. And the Carolina Crusher, Lyle Hancock driving Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger. You know, Dennis is known for his flat-out pedal-to-the-metal style. And that has got to put pressure on Lyle Hancock driving for Team Gravedigger. Matter of fact, we asked him about that.
Dennis has a certain way he wants the truck driven, and it's all out. We try to uphold everything that he's done in the past, and we don't want anybody to get shortchanged on their ticket.
And Lyle Hancock is going up against Jackie Willman. They're staged and set to go. Side by side, Taurus and Digger. Digger cannot get things going. Jackie Willman sweeps him. Taurus does not have a bit of problem on the line, and Digger just sits there and spins and spins and spins and can't get going. I think he may have busted a drive shaft. And Jackie Willman does it again. He's done this so often on Monster Truck Challenge. He comes from behind and just works his way up to the finals. That was an excellent run. And Jackie didn't know what was going on over in the other lane. Gravedigger and Lyle Hancock sat there and spun on the starting line and just couldn't get things together. There you can see Digger is just sort of working his way over the cars. One more time. This is where you can see Digger spinning. Taurus is well on his way. And Ken Brew, Taurus has made it to the finals in Oakland.
All right, let's set the stage for you right now. Gravedigger, Lyle Hancock at the wheel, had some mechanical problems, was a doubtful starter. So what did Lyle do? He blew away the field in qualifying with a time of 2.46 seconds. It's never say die for the Gravedigger 4x4 team out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. So based on the qualifying times, here's what the first round looks like. Taurus takes on Equalizer.
Power out of it. Here's a matchup, Bigfoot and Gravedigger. Now remember, Dennis Anderson has not been driving Gravedigger early this season. It's been Lyle Hancock. Lyle taking over those Gravedigger duties, and boy, does he have one to handle. Andy Brass up in the Bigfoot monster truck. This is our first look at Bigfoot 10, the brand new truck out of St. Louis, Missouri, and Andy Brass is a veteran. This guy knows what it's all about. He's been a world champion before. He'd love to have it again in 1992. They power up. And Bigfoot smokes the Gravedigger in round number 1. The Bigfoot monster truck, Bigfoot number 10, more awesome than any truck heretofore. He comes over beautifully, beautifully staged, hits that first set of cars, and boom, Andy Brass in the big blue Ford goes to semifinal action in Oakland, California. Ken Brew, that's round number 1. Right now, the equalizer, David Morris, out of Springfield, Tennessee. Smiling Dave, they call him, and he's got reason to smile. This truck's been running great. He goes up against the Grave Digger, and Barefoot being towed out in the background. We'll try to go back to the pits and see what's going on with him in a minute. Lyle Hancock pilots the Grave Digger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Grave Digger and Equalizer are set and go. Grave Digger catching up to the Equalizer on the turn now. Oh, Digger spins around and he's dead. He goes dead right on the turn. Equalizer picks up the win. Wonder what happened to Lyle Hancock and the Grave Digger. The crowd seems to be happy with the Equalizer win. And this is a good Equalizer, and Grave Digger are ready to go. Trackside, let's go with Lyle Hancock.
The cars are a little steep on the ramp right there. I was trying to have trouble getting gear there, but come out on the top. So, I mean, try the same thing, same way next time, see how we go with it.
Lyle had the lane choice. He chose the right-hand lane. Meanwhile, David Morris is in the Equalizer over the left lane. One says they're spinning, one says they're bogging down. I don't know. It's anybody's guess. David Morris in the Equalizer, Lyle Hancock and Grave Digger side by side. Digger lifts the tires off the ground on the starting line, but the Equalizer holds on for the win. David Morris, I guess he got the traction he was looking for as he reaches down and comes up with a win here at the Centrum, round number 1. Here's the kind of high-flying action you expect from the United States Hot Rod Association. So close, just inches separate the two. David Morris going a little squirrely there at the end of the track. He straightens things out. This guy can drive his way out of almost anything, and he had to do it right there in the Centrum. One more shot. The Equalizer, the Grave Digger, high in the air. And what a fitting end of round number 1 here at the Centrum. Ken, let's go back to you. Next up, Grave Digger and Equalizer. Lyle Hancock out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, aboard the Grave Digger. Meanwhile, out of Springfield, Tennessee, smiling David Morris and the Equalizer. Side by side, guys, let's go racing. Uh-oh. David Morris has no problem, but Lyle Hancock has a lot of problems. The Grave Digger, it seems as though when he gave it the gas, something gave. I think he lost the transmission. Let's pick up Equalizer. He had no concept of what was happening in the other lane. All David Morris can see when he drives is the finish line, and that's what he's looking at right now as he sails across. It's going to be a Taurus Equalizer final here at the Centrum in Worcester. Meanwhile, Lyle Hancock had a lot of problems in the Grave Digger. He started, got about half a tire turn, and that was the end of him. Meanwhile, David Morris doesn't even look back. He's over the cars. He's across the finish line. He's in the championship round. Lyle Hancock, what happened to you? I know you didn't run out of gas.
Well, we pulled up the line, everything was looking good, dropped her in gear and started getting ready for the light to come down, and as you well heard what went on, I gave it, the throttle to take off, and the transmission just winged. It wouldn't even pull. Apparently I've lost all the clutches or something in the forward rotation in low gear, so I put her in the second, kind of went over the cars, turned around, brought her back.
So the defending world champion, this is Jackie Willman out of Granite City, Illinois. He'll be piloting the incredible monster truck, Taurus. Going against him out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, driving Dennis Anderson's Grave Digger. This is Lyle Hancock. We'll have the story of Dennis Anderson in just a moment. The crowd is ready. The trucks are ready for round number 1. And the defending champ picks up the win. There you go. Jackie Willman, Taurus. Check this out. He stays low. He stretches out while Digger goes high. Comes across that finish line a full half truck length ahead of Digger. The win to Taurus.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Monster Truck Challenge. I'm Ken Brew. Now, before we go back to the action at the Centrum in Worcester, let's address a question we have been asked 1,000 times. Where's Dennis? Dennis, of course, is Dennis Anderson, one of the most popular drivers in American racing. He's back in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, nursing a broken knee. Folks, you know that's got to hurt. That's where our crew from ESPN caught up with him.
been quite some time now, but it was Gary Porter and I. We were racing with Chicago style around and around, and I came back for the finish, and I got a little tangled up on my end of the track, and I just went up and kissed that wall really hard, and I tell you, I really wasn't braced for that impact. When I first cracked my knee, it was like it was no big deal, you know. I cracked my knee, it's going to heal up, everything's going to be fine. Well, it ended up being a lot serious, you know, than I thought it was going to be. So, you know, I'm listening to the doctors a lot more. You know, when I first stepped in that doctor's office, I was like, it was in one ear and out the other. Get me a cast on here. I'm going to the shop. We're going to do things. And I tell you, I've really backed up about 3 steps, and I'm listening to these guys because it's really a sad feeling. You know, I hate for people to watch me like come up the steps or walk across the parking lot, or you know, I just feel like I'm just I don't know. It's like it really hurts. I was going to physical therapy for 3 days a week, and we had some dead muscles in my legs, so we had to tighten up on the physical therapy. So I've been going every day of the week for 2.5 hours a day. Okay, this is functional electric stimulation. This is a machine that's going to help Dennis to contract the quadricep muscle, which is on the front of his leg. He's having a hard time contracting it after this knee injury. So this is going to help him do it. And you'll be able to see the muscle jumping. So you can see it starting to twitch already. We're going to get a good contraction. Hey, that looks good. Is that it? Okay. Now, when the machine shuts off, you'll be able to see that muscle stop. There we go. And he'll be on this for about 15 minutes. Another part of his therapy is going to be doing stretches. He's going to get on a bicycle where he can use his arms to help stretch his knee. It was pretty depressing, you know. I felt like, you know, once I went in there and do these little simple exercises, I never really tried them at home, and which I didn't really, you know, once I had my cast off, I had to wait a couple of weeks after I got the cast off to loosen the leg up before I started physical therapy, but it was really depressing, you know. I mean, I felt like laying there and crying if nobody wouldn't have been watching. But because it was just such a simple thing that I couldn't even do, and it wasn't that it was painful, it was just that I didn't have a signal to some of the main muscles in my legs, so I couldn't even tell it what to do, you know, and I just felt helpless, and it was scary because I'll tell you, if I had to drag this leg around like I'm doing now for the rest of my life, I'd be an unhappy puppy, you can believe that. Why don't you try and see if we can bring it a little bit further than last time? Just be easy. I'm going slow. This looks good. Real good. Okay, come in. Get a little tight right there. Yeah. Okay, keep breathing. Hold it right there. Now keep your hips down. That's it. Good. Well, that looks good, Dennis. All right. Okay. I think it's kind of getting old, but I know I've got to do it. It'd be like taking dancing lessons or something, you know, and Mom's got to stick her head out. All right, come on, you got to go to dancing lessons, you know. It's getting to be on that track now, but I know that I've got to stick with it because the physical therapy has really helped me a lot. You know, I can bend my leg. I'm starting to get some strength back in it and some movement in it. Hi, Dennis. Get well soon. Yeah. Bye.
I'm sure you join all of us here on Monster Truck Challenge in wishing Dennis a full and complete recovery. And Dennis is going to be with us from week to week to offer his thoughts on the sport of monster truck racing. Okay.
The Taurus moves on. Here comes the Carolina Crusher. Gary Porter going up against the Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson's truck out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, being piloted by Lyle Hancock. And a lot of Gravedigger fans in the audience tonight. Here's Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher. Gary hails from Wadesboro, North Carolina, and we call him the lone wolf on the tour. Travels by himself without a crew. Does just fine. They're staged and ready, Digger and Crusher. And Gravedigger goes high. Crusher stays slow and gets the win. Your winner, Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher. And you want to see how it's done? The trick is to stay low. Off the line, side by side, they're even. But this is what happened. The Digger launches, and when you're going high, you're not going far. And that's what happens. Carolina Crusher with almost an entire half-truck length lead. Let's see how accurate that prediction is as David Morris and the equalizer go against the Gravedigger. Lyle Hancock handling the driving for the injured Dennis Anderson right now out of Kill Devil Hills. Here we go. Whoa, David Morris certainly did call this one accurately. A very close race between the Gravedigger and the Equalizer. The U.S. Hot Rod Association, after reviewing the video, says Equalizer picks up the win, and David Morris continues his dominance of Monster Truck Challenge. The Gravedigger with a hole shot. Equalizer up and 3/4 of the way down the track, catches him and overtakes the Gravedigger right at the finish line. And you can see that's what it takes.
Well, if you're with us each week here on Monster Truck Challenge, you know one of the fellas we like to check in with is Dennis Anderson, the driver of Gravedigger. But I think you know that Dennis has been laid up with a broken knee. He had a terrible accident back in late 1991. Well, we check in with Dennis from time to time, and what we find out is he's not the kind of guy that just likes to sit around.
I've been missing it out on the road. I've got this new truck, and it's been ready for about a little over 3 weeks now. And I got to walk into the shop and face that brand new truck every day.
On or off the track, Dennis Anderson is a people person. Since he likes being around monster trucks and his fans, it's especially tough for Dennis to spend the lonely hours needed to mend his broken knee. He fills some of those hours driving Street Digger on the beaches and dunes of North Carolina's Outer Banks. And he fills some of those hours doing what comes naturally to him, helping other people.
He'll sit down and talk for hours on the telephone to his, to his fans, telling them what he thinks they should do.
But I've got Dana 70s.
Now, if you really want to get Dennis going, drop by and ask him a 4x4 question.
Factory truck would be if it had tires on it, but I got a good motor in it, too.
I got 410s in that half-ton front and back.
But when it comes to helping others, Dennis's pride and joy is Project Gravedigger at Virginia Beach Votech. The automotive technology students there now are rebuilding the original Gravedigger as a class project. Dennis loves talking about anything automotive, and he loves helping high school students.
It's really something neat for the kids, It's a program to keep the kids off the street, for one thing, and they're interested in something in school for a change.
The students at Virginia Beach Vocational Technical School have torn the truck down. When they've restored it, the original Gravedigger will go in a museum that Dennis plans to build. Attendance has been 100% during Project Gravedigger, so it's easy to see how much the students like working on the truck, and it's easy to see how much Dennis likes helping other people.
And of course, as we continue on with Monster Truck Challenge, we'll hear from Dennis as the weeks and months progress, and hopefully he'll be back on his feet in no time, back behind the wheel. Before we
get our
get
next matchup, and Lyle Hancock says, watch out, a close night's coming up in all races.
You get all 6 of these trucks today ran within a 1/10 of each other. I mean, there's very little room for human error there when you're running that close, that competitive. It makes the sport, real interesting as far as, you got to be able to cut a good light. It's anticipation when it's going to come on. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. So, something that we try to do, and that's what breaks a racing.
And Lyle Hancock of the Gravedigger better be on his toes tonight, because his competition definitely will be the veteran Fred Schaefer and Barefoot. We asked Fred Foot. High-flying action. Gravediggers out of there. Barefoot picks up the win. The U.S. Hot Rod Association has to time every one of these matchups. They are so close here at the Knickerbocker Arena. But Barefoot, a decided winner in this one. And look, you saw the Gravedigger raise up first. He had the hole shot, but Barefoot just leaps high, much higher than Equalizer did. But he gets across that finish line first. That's what horsepower will do for you. And Barefoot gets that win. Driving style is everything, and Fred Schaefer is dialed in here.
Diggers tonight. Now, from Demented Minds, straight to your home VCR, the most awesome monster truck of them all, Gravedigger. Now, Gravedigger the video brings monster truck thrills into your living room. See Gravedigger smashing, turning piles of cars into piles of pancakes. You'll go inside, you'll go underneath, you'll meet the men who built the ultimate machine. Gravedigger, the video.
You're in trouble.
Get your credit card ready, because when it's your time to go, it is your time. The ultimate home monster truck video. Gravedigger, the video. credit card and order your copy of Gravedigger the video, only $19.95 plus shipping. Call 1-800-352-7700. Don't miss the special monster truck offer. Call 1-800-352-7700 before it's too late.
Our next matchup between Gravedigger and Taurus. Lyle Hancock, what are your thoughts on this situation between the blue lane and the yellow lane?
At first, I thought I was going to want to run the left lane pretty much all much. It's got a little bit of ramp to it. The right one seems to be getting a little bit of air, but as the night's going on, the trucks are running on. The ramps are starting to change on there. The left lane right now happens to be getting a little more air than the right lane, and when you're up in the air, you're not going forward. Next round, I picked, I got to run with Taurus, and Taurus took the right lane, which has not been the favored lane for tonight. So it's going to put me in what started out to be the favorite lane. Now we'll see what we can do with it.
Now we know Barefoot is going to be in the championship, but is he going to be against the Gravedigger or Taurus? We'll find out moments from now. The red headlights are up and a thumbs up from Gravedigger. There we go. I couldn't tell. I just could not tell. It looked as though Gravedigger had the lead. Taurus sailed from behind at the finish line. It was anybody's race, and that's why the United States Hot Rod Association has those cameras to review it and check one more time. The drivers don't know. We'll find out as they find out. Digger in the lead here, but Taurus, I don't know where he gets the horsepower in the air, but he does. And the win goes to Jackie Willman and Taurus as he defeats the Gravedigger in a photo finish. Just inches separate the two here in North Carolina. He's going up against another truck from North Carolina, Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills. Now the Digger is piloted today by Lyle Hancock. Dennis recuperating from that accident at the end of the season last year. We're set to go. Providence, Rhode Island sees the monsters as Gary Porter and the Carolina Crusher smoke the hapless Gravedigger. You gotta wonder what happened to Digger. Lyle Hancock was looking great in the qualification earlier, but he says he doesn't know. Thumbs down as we look at it one more time. The Carolina Crusher and Gary Porter will advance to second round action. Here's that run. Crusher in the blue lane, Digger in the yellow lane. The headlights of the Gravedigger are still on, but apparently he lost power. May have blown a transmission on that run. Carolina, the first one on the trailer here at Providence. Our next matchup between the Gravedigger and Taurus. Lyle Hancock up in the cockpit of Gravedigger. Jackie Willman of Taurus is the world champion. And we asked him about this unique course and driving Willman, Taurus, the world champion. But the world champ is going up against Gravedigger for this matchup. Round racing, there they go. Gravedigger with a big lead. Jackie Willman having to turn it around, use the rear steer. Great job there now. Oh, look at this. Lyle Hancock having some problem with Gravedigger. Jackie Willman makes the turn a wide one while the Gravedigger cannot make that turn and takes out a pole. It cost him as it did Bigfoot. So we have the Bigfoot monster truck, and in this race we just saw, Gravedigger took out the pole. It happens right here. As it comes around, bing, you're out of there. That cost you the race. You must clear that pole on the turn. Next up, Fred Shea.
And he gets out of rhythm right here, and he gasses on just a little too hard and stands on it when the tail end slaps down and pitches him up. So he gets on the right here. He gets off the throttle, then he's in the throttle again, and then he lets off, and it's just like he got out of rhythm there. He got chunked up because he messed himself up when he went in the turn. But he got up there a little tight around that camera guy. Had those guys doing the shuffle, spilling some popcorn. That was pretty crazy. And it actually smashed the top of the truck and bent the roll cage in just a little bit.
Senior out of Granite City, Illinois. He's a reigning world champion. He goes up against Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger, piloted by Lyle Hancock out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. So it's Taurus, Gravedigger, side by side, looking for that green light. There it is, spinning to beat the band. Taurus spins, Gravedigger digs in, and we could see a lane difference here. Possibly the lanes could show us some difference between the right and the left. Because Torres did get the hole shot, but he was spinning on that starting line. Gravedigger dug in over the first set of cars first. And that is a great run for Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger. Torres coming over any which way. He goes way over to the right, has to really work to correct it and pull things out. Great job of driving for Jackie Willman, but the world champion just couldn't pull it off. Look at the spin on that starting line. Digger digs in, he's over, and really jumps out to the lead right here. So it looks like the near lane is going to be the favorite, but the starting line is on everybody's mind here in Minneapolis.
It definitely was. As you know, as you were coming off of concrete going onto dirt, and you just can't get enough traction on the concrete. So it's the first guy that gets the dirt first, and the only way to do it is to take the power out of the truck. I mean, it's like your grandma's car. You're burning rubber with the darn thing. You ain't going nowhere. We got set up. We made our pass on the qualifying. I knew that kind of putting the tires away a little bit. We came back and made a minor adjustment on the gears and the transfer case. Kind of loaded a little bit more. Took a little horsepower out of it, which is contrary to, you know, what you believe. So I figured if I took some horsepower out of it, I could get a hole shot on him. I knew if I got a hole shot on him, I had it made.
So that's it for round one time. And here comes the world champion, Jackie Willman Jr. and Torres going up against Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger. Gravedigger, Torres, there they go off the line. Digger gets the hole shot. Holy mackerel, look out, Jackie. What a run. As Digger smokes the Taurus for the second time in a row. Look at this truck run. And Lyle Hancock knows he's got to go flat out to defeat the world champ.
I wasn't giving up for nothing. I didn't mean if I had to drive that thing on two wheels, I was going to beat that man twice in one night.
And that's exactly what he did. Lyle Hancock piloting the Gravedigger to another win over Taurus, and he goes against Equalizer in our final.
Really spinning too much. If we can keep doing that, I think we can take it.
He faces Lyle Hancock in Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, and the starting line again is on Lyle's mind.
It's going to be one of them kind of deals. It's going to stay who's going to stay in the throttle the longest in between the cars. Hopefully we can get up there and get a little bit of, you know, jump on him on the lights. Lights are real key problem here. So if you don't lead one or the other one, the guy that leaves first has got it made.
The guy that's over the finish line will be our champion here. Side by side, Equalizer, Gravedigger off the line. Look at the power that Equalizer's displaying. David Morris and the Equalizer, an incredible job of driving as he spins it around and brings home to Gary Cook's racing team yet another victory. The Equalizer, number one. The Equalizer took on all comers here in Minneapolis, and David Morris, just a great job of driving. Off the line, they're side by side. David Morris really turns it on right here. And look at that lead. A tough track, and David Morris, again, the hottest truck on the circuit. The head-on shot, you can see the Digger side by side. David Morris gets a little out of shape, but he holds on to it, and over the finish line he goes.
Yeah, it felt real good.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another round of Monster Truck Challenge. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina this week, and look who's back with us. On his feet again, Dennis Anderson of Gravedigger fame. The leg has been injured, but now it's healed.
Yeah, it's my leg's not 100% yet, but it will be because my leg's come a long ways in the last 6 weeks. I've been out on the road 6 weeks now testing this new truck, trying to get it dialed in so we could come in here and run with these elite fleet guys here, you know, and we're just going to give them all we got tonight.
But it's got to feel great to be back out here.
It really does, you know. I was kind of stuck there at home, but being home, it wasn't all that bad. I got a lot of plans for the future while I was home. I had time to sit down and think about what I was doing, and it really gave me some time off of the road mainly, and gave me a lot of good time with my family, too.
Going to dig a grave this weekend for somebody?
I tell you, we might not dig a grave for him, but we're going to start a hole for him anyway.
There you go. Dennis Anderson of Gravedigger fame. Going to try his luck this week in Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go trackside.
His
Here's
home
Joe
state,
Lowe.
and he's back in the saddle. Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger, our fastest qualifier. Dennis back with us on Monster Truck Challenge, driving a brand new Gravedigger after a knee injury that kept him out the early part of this season. Our Jim Clark is with Dennis Anderson, and they talk about tonight's race.
Dennis Anderson, Gravedigger, your first big race since your injury, and you're back here in Raleigh, North Carolina as the fastest qualifier tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, that makes me feel kind of proud, you know, because I've been out for a while. I've been doing little hit-and-miss races here and there, trying to get the bugs worked out. It's a new truck. But I tell you, I'm really proud of myself right now because I came out and I pulled off a fastest qualifying. And I'm running against some tough guys out here. I mean, the competition is tough. The main thing is just trying to hold myself back, control myself so I don't pull too hard of a whole shot and get too much air off that first foul. If I can keep her down on the ground making tracks, we'll beat them.
Same old Dennis, and of course, let's go down to the track where the Gravedigger is lining up against Rambo. Dennis Anderson in his first race of the 1992 season with a brand new truck, and the crowd's letting him know they're behind him in his home state. Bill Weaver out of New York, ready to go aboard Rambo. He knows the Gravedigger's going to be a tough competitor in this first round competition. Here's a good shot of Bill Weaver. Hastings, New York, his hometown. He's piloting Rambo. Rambo, Gravedigger side by side. They square off for round number one. Dennis Anderson popping a wheelie after the first set of cars. Rambo digging down in the dirt, things flying all over the place, and the win goes to Gravedigger. Dennis Anderson back on this 92 circuit. Look at that truck, a brand new truck. The driver been studying, he's ready to go, and Dennis Anderson buries Rambo in round number one.
Welcome back, everybody, to Raleigh, North Carolina for the Monster Truck Challenge. Our guest this week, back on his feet, Dennis Anderson from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Tell me about the truck, because obviously it looks great. It's a new truck, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you, I've been out and ran about 6 weeks with it, and it was more or less like an exhibition deals that I was doing. It was testing the truck and dialing it in, and we've got the truck pretty much dialed in now.
So you've had a chance to see what it would behave like, and now you're ready to, I guess, tackle the big boys, huh?
Right. You know, this is their point series, and these races, all my races are serious, but this is really a super serious race for me here. This
Sport has gotten so competitive over the last few years that you really can't predict, well, this truck is going to do well this year, this is going to do well this year. The variables in the sport have completely changed, haven't they?
It really has, you know, just the design of the trucks, all of our rules and regulations, you know, everything has changed, and it's really a super competitive sport now.
Where do you see this sport going? Where's the future going to take this sport?
I tell you, it's going to come down to, I feel like it'll come down to something like NHRA drag racing, in which it's almost there. In my book, it's there now, you know, but it's going to really, we're going to get a lot of exposure with it. These guys are really getting really technical with the trucks. It used to be that you just put this big piece of iron together and come out and let's crush cars. Well, it's not like that anymore. I mean, we're still using the cars to crush with because it's a monster truck, but these are real true blue racers now.
These things are going to have wings and fly here before long.
Yeah, you aren't kidding about that now. We're getting them light, you know, and we've got a weight restriction right now, you know, but these trucks are really light. They're fast, but they're good trucks.
Listen, take care of that leg, too. No more adventures.
Okay.
Dennis Anderson, Kill Devil Hills, and, of course, the truck, as you know, is the Gravedigger. Now, when we come back, we'll see how he does when Monster Truck Challenge continues from Raleigh, North Carolina, in just a moment.
From the grave against the Gravedigger. And speaking of that, Dennis Anderson is with Jim Clark.
Are you going to do anything different on your next run because of the track?
I don't know. I just need to kind of watch these other trucks go now that I got a little bit of time to watch them because I was the first pack out. So I get a chance to watch these guys. I want to see a 4-link truck go in the other lane. I've got lane choice, so I can switch lanes tonight. And I'll just have to see what these other guys look like in the other lane over here.
All right, well, congratulations and good luck again.
All right, thanks.
Dennis Anderson back in the Gravedigger against the Equalizer. The Equalizer being plagued tonight by engine problems, and Dennis Anderson comes from behind and picks up a win number 2 for the Digger. A tough break and a valiant effort on the part of David Morris and the Equalizer, and the crowd loves to see the Digger. He just keeps on winning. Now, we weren't sure what to expect from David Morris. You see the puff of smoke, and this is where Dennis really turns it on. The Equalizer just can't keep up with the brand new and hot running Gravedigger. And Dennis Anderson, a force to be reckoned with here in Raleigh as he goes on to our championship round. Now, David Morris, remember, he lost to Keystone Cruncher. He didn't even, including this guy, Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger. He was our fastest qualifier, and he does get lane choice here tonight.
All right, Dennis Anderson, the Digger, been a successful night going into the finals up against Taurus.
Hey, I tell you, Jackie's been laying down some good runs. We had some real close qualifying runs, and I think he finished up second fastest. I was the first fastest. I do have lane choice over him. He's favoring this right lane. He hadn't run that left lane all night, so maybe I can get the edge on him, throw him in that left lane over there. I'm kind of used to this lane, but all we got to do is keep her cool. Every time it comes down to the finals, he's pretty aggressive, and so am I, and we just got to come over that first pile of cars and get her planted on the ground and go for it.
The aggressive opinions of Dennis Anderson, plan him and go. And here he is in his home state of North Carolina. We're set for the final, Taurus and Gravedigger. When we get the green light, it's showtime, and there it goes. Taurus with a big lead, but look, he has trouble over the second set, and Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger wins it. The win in his home state for the first time out in the 92 season of a brand new truck. Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger. And here's how it was done. Off the line, it was Taurus. Dennis said he was going to plant him and go. Here he does. He passes him in the air. The win goes to Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger. From this angle, you can see there's some problems, not right here, but when he plants him and goes right here, look, you'll see some sparks. And it looks as though the drive shaft fell out of it, but Dennis was already in the air, already airborne. He gets the win. Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger go on to win it here in Raleigh.
Devil Hills, North Carolina, a phenomenal night here in front of the home state crowd. Let's not wait any longer. Let's go to Jim Clark. He's standing by with the winner. Jim?
Congratulations, Dennis Anderson. Big win here in Raleigh.
Yeah, I tell you, I knew it was going to be a tough finals there, and I pushed her a little bit harder than I've been pushing it all night, but I knew I had to do it to beat Jackie Wilman with Taurus, because he kind of drives like I do, buddy. He just lets her go, you know, and I was here to win. I'm glad I could win in my home state. We had a bunch of fans here tonight, a real good crowd, and I tell you, I couldn't have pulled it off without the guys back at the shop, my crew, my engine builder, Jim Stackers. He's done a fine job. The motor's really got a lot of power for us this year. Autometer's been helping us out. Goodyear, they've really helped us out on the new set of tires, and Goodyear's going to be helping us out the rest of the season here, and we couldn't do it without all those guys.
Competition was so neck and neck with you and Taurus on that last run. It was almost hard to tell who won.
Yeah, I tell you, that's how these courses are. You know, we get outdoors. The trucks get stretched out a little bit farther then, but this is an outdoor course, but it's not as long as some of the courses we run on. But I tell you, when it comes down to the top 6 trucks, the 4-link trucks is racing right now for the point series. It's really hard to call a winner. You know, we've got 6 main trucks, and it's any dog's day.
All right, well, listen, congratulations, and good luck to you in the future.
All right, thanks a lot.
Dennis Anderson put on the show, and Monster Truck Challenge was happy to bring it to you.
The Kodiak and the Gravedigger. Now the Gravedigger, piloted by Dennis Anderson, he's back after a lengthy time off, and he's at a Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, ready to go with the Digger. Kodiak being piloted today by Mark Bendler. Mark coming with us for the first time on Monster Truck Challenge out of New Berlin, Wisconsin. So it's Bendler and Kodiak, Anderson and Gravedigger. The red headlights on Digger, and Digger gets the hole shot. But hole shots count in straight line racing. This is a figure-8 course. They come around the first turn. They'll be approaching that first set of cars. Look for a good jump. The Digger has the lead. Whoa! He clears the entire set of cars. Which track we gonna take? Man, we're having a little trouble staying on course, keeping control of the truck, and the Digger a slight lead as they come around and head to the cars one more time. Whoa, what a finish. Kodiak comes apart, but look, oh, Dennis Anderson runs out of track space. Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger, your winner. I hope he can come back with us. We'll check with him later on. Equalizer going against Fairly Tame. But the question is, what happened to Dennis Anderson? Jim Clark's with him.
Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger, first of all, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just fine. Smashed into the wall there, and I clipped my ribs in the back of my seat and just knocked the wind out of me for a few minutes, but I'm all right now.
What the heck happened?
Well, I tell you, I come around that the last turn there. My truck just felt like it was trying to drift out. And I thought old Kodiak there was getting ready to blow me away. So once I got the truck straightened out, I just smashed that big motor, and it shot me over the cars. And kind of surprised me. I didn't think I was going to get that much air, but I had to deal with it because it was too late to back out. Once I hit the ground, I had to tap the throttle a couple times to make sure I was going to be in control. And it was just going so fast on that slick asphalt, I had to lock it up and slide it sideways and take to the wall.
Good to see that Dennis is okay. Leads us to our matchup. Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger going up against Kodiak. This was figure 8 racing in Louisville. They have to go around once, come back and go around and over the cars again. Dennis Anderson was in the lead, but Kodiak was battling back. He wanted it badly. Going into turn number 4, Kodiak was catching up. Dennis Anderson had to turn it on, and he won the race. But in doing so, he hit the wall. Everybody thought he was okay, but that wasn't the case, and Lyle Hancock explains.
Apparently overshot the set of cars that he was going for. He was trailing behind one of the other monster trucks and needed to make up some time. When he come down, basically, he had slid sideways, smashed into the wall there. He had gone to a restaurant to eat some dinner after the race was over that night, and he went to take a drink or something, and he coughed real hard. While in doing so, he had already had injured some of the ribs, and when he coughed so hard, it had actually separated some of the rib cage, so he's going to be out for a little while.
So there he is wearing his United States Hot Rod Association hat. But he's going up against the most feared monster truck in the world today, Lyle Hancock, out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, driving Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger. They're on the line. The Digger with the red headlights on. There's the green light. And Digger gets the reaction off the line, the whole shot, and he just doesn't look back from start to finish. An impressive win as Gravedigger smokes American Made. And American Made just didn't seem to have any power at all. Fuel problems from his high...
He just pulled me all the way down the track. I just couldn't catch him.
Our next matchup between Gravedigger and King Crunch, and Gravedigger's Lyle Hancock talks about Rob Grossman.
He's a tough competitor, and like always, he always seems to come out from behind somehow, and he'll get you in the end if you ain't real careful. So I got my guard up and got everything all tuned up, and I think we're running pretty good.
Now, the Gravedigger Racing team keeps a log of everywhere they go for fuel settings, and they certainly seem to have the Digger dialed in as he gets set to go against King Crunch. Off the line, King Crunch has problems, and the Gravedigger has all sorts of power. All sorts of power as he goes over that first set of cars, pedal to the metal, and sails over the second set, and he's going to a final against Carolina Crusher in Pueblo. While most of the other trucks seem to be suffering from fuel problems, the thin air situation has not been a problem for the Carolina Crusher or the Gravedigger. Those are the two in our monster final. But Lyle insists it's been a tough night.
Well, we had to give it everything we could get and get used to the track, see how we're going to come off the cars. I know I'm going to have to run the truck just about as hard as it's going to go when we get to the finals.
Came up on the shootout, taking over the driving duties for Gary Porter. And Lyle Hancock in Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. Both substitute drivers. Let's see what Lyle's strategy is.
I'm not going to give him an inch. I'm going to give everything I can get on this truck. I've raced him before, and he's a hard competitor to beat.
The talking's over. Let's see what you got. Green light, showtime. Crusher and Digger. Oh my my gosh, get to the shutdown area, guys. And you can't tell who won. The red headlights of the Gravedigger. The big yellow Carolina Crusher. A great run for Digger. A great run for Crusher, but which one won? Here's Mike Speller of the U.S. Hot Rod Association to tell us which truck won this monster truck final in Pueblo, Colorado.
Well, that race was so close, and we looked at the video about 4 times, and we just could not predict the winner. So our rule says that when we're that close or it's a tie, the only thing you can do is run them again.
As we rerun our final here in Pueblo, up to the starting line they go. This is gonna be a battle, a war, as the two heavyweights go at it, neck and neck, tire and tire, door handle to door handle. Digger and Crusher off the line. And look at Gravedigger go. Both trucks running well. Gravedigger with an edge. He gets the win. He gets the win. This truck has not stopped all night long. He's dialed in, tuned in, and has a superb ability to handle this truck on a very, very tough course. Lyle Hancock with a win for the Gravedigger team, but it didn't come easy. You got to give credit to Gary Wiggins and the Carolina Crusher. He defeated Tough Enough and then the Equalizer to get here. Then they had to rerun the final because we had a tie. The win goes again to Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger.
I needed a win, I'll tell you what. We've had a pretty rough season getting it started. I didn't think the guy run that hard. I told you, you know, it's like he'll come from behind and get you if you ain't careful. It was a dead tie there the first run, and man, I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull it off again.
How'd you feel about running the second run?
It was pretty good, actually. You know, the people got more for their money, you know, getting to see two of the best running trucks out there. And man, I tell you what, it was something else. My heart was pumping on that one.
Gravedigger waltzed into the championship race. Things got real tight for Lyle Hancock. So tight that Gravedigger was tied by Carolina Crusher. Then the Digger goes out and wins it all in the rematch. We'll see you next time. I'm Ken Brew. So long, everybody.
Tell you what, it was something else. My heart was pumping on that one.
We're going some changes, but for right now, we're going to stick with the plan.
And that plan is to try to knock out the most feared monster truck in the world today, the Gravedigger. But this is not going to be the day for Rob Morris as the Gravedigger picks up the win. Lyle Hancock up in the Gravedigger over the first set of cars, over the second, completely clears them, and the Digger gets a win in race number 1. A great run for Lyle Hancock. He has certainly got this truck tuned in, dialed in, and ready to rock and roll. He moves on to round number 2 of Monster Truck Challenge. Lyle says it was no cakewalk.
Well, it wasn't no easy one, I can tell you that. I got my heart pumping out there pretty good. The truck took a little bad bounce there right in the middle of the set. And, you know, the only thing's going through my mind is I don't want to go out this early in the round, you know, so I had to kind of stay with it. I hit that second set of cars. The front end was square, but the back end was. And, of course, I got twisted up going over this last set of cars, but it came out all right.
The U.S. Hot Rod Association's monster coming up to the starting line in Pueblo. The Gravedigger. Lyle Hancock handling the driving duties while Dennis Anderson is recuperating. And David Morris out of Springfield, Tennessee with the hottest truck on the circuit, the Equalizer. Green light, and there they go. Gravedigger with a hole shot. Equalizer powers back. He comes from behind. And what a great run. Both drivers pedal to the metal. Both drivers with a superb run. But David Morris digs down deep, has things tuned in, and the Equalizer is over the finish line first.
Oh, you had the equalizer out of the hole, but she came from behind to beat you. What happened?
Well, that makes a difference in the motor and the cubic inch. That's where them big cubic inch motors will make tracks on you in a long course. They'll catch you in the end. We run quite a bit smaller motor. It's only 432 cubic inch. We got to drive it pretty hard to stay out front. I had him over the first set of cars, and he outpowered me going to the second set. I mean, it was a pretty good race. I mean, I looked out the side window going over the second set of cars. He was right next to me. I didn't even know who won.
We know that Equalizer's going to the finals, but who is he? And Crusher earns the right to face the Gravedigger for our consolation prize here in Pueblo, Colorado. The U.S. Hot Rod Association bringing you the best of the best on Monster Truck Challenge. Carolina Crusher, Gary Wiggins aboard, going against Lyle Hancock in the Gravedigger. Both from North Carolina, way out west to show what they can do. Looking for that green light. Thumbs up, showtime! And Gravedigger with an incredible hole shot. It's almost like he could see the electricity run up the cord to the light. The win to Lyle Hancock and the Gravedigger. And Lyle Hancock drives the Gravedigger to the fastest time of the night, 4.13 seconds.
Well, I had to go all out. I knew I was running against him last night. He gave me a tough run, and I wasn't going to lose twice in the same night, so I had to give it everything it got. Racing Equalizer, I didn't have the good lane and a little smaller cubic inch motor, but I got the fans back here crazy going. Now, I'm never wanting to sign some autographs. I'm going to have to get going.
All right, well, go ahead.
Thanks. All right, bye-bye.
Man, I'll tell you, Lyle Hancock just loves to race. He goes out in the consolation bracket. Instead of taking it easy on his truck, instead of saying, hey, I don't have anything to win, I got everything to lose, puts his foot on the floor and turns in the fastest time of the night. That is a true professional. We're going to break